So let's do this. I started not to even do this video until I seen a video on Facebook that T.I. had posted. And it was showing the shooting of AltonSterling. And it was the frontal view of the shooting. And they say the greatest teacher in life is experience. And I watched the video, and as I saw the police shoot this man, and then they reached into his pocket after he was shot and pulled out the gun. But in the midst of that, he was dying. I've been shot before. That's why I'm in a wheelchair now. When I was initially shot, I actually coded, and they had to bring me back. So let me tell you all what happens when you die, or as you're dying. When I was shot, and as I started to fall towards the ground, and I got shot at the C2 level. And that's it for you all who don't know about spinal cord. The C2 level, most people don't survive, because that's where your lungs and all that. Christopher Reeves survived a horse. When he fell off the horse, he just survived a fracture of the C2 vertebrae also. And if you do survive a C2 vertebrae, you usually are on a vent. And you only give like 9 or 10 years to live, if that, because of your organs and stuff are not working on their own. So that could have been me. But when I first initially got shot, everything that happened up until that point, all I saw was the fire coming from the gun. And everything that happened in that moment started to go in slow motion. It took forever for me to hit the ground. With no rewinds. I didn't see a whole bunch of shit from the past come up. All that shit you see on the news, well, on TV and movies and shit like that. None of that happened. There was no white light drawing me into heaven. And all that bullshit people talk about. Most of it, if you see a white light when you get shot, well, when you're dying or whatever, and you come out of your emergency room, that's a motherfucking light from the motherfucking emergency room table when you lying on the lights and they ready to operate and you try to save you, or from the ambulance or some shit. And I hit the ground, and my girlfriend at the time was there yelling, "Please stay with us, don't die, we need you." And I heard my friend that was with me at the time, he was yelling and screaming, you know, why I gotta be like this and all this and that. And I ain't gonna go into the details of why I was shot. But I played a part in me being shot, and that situation could have been avoided easily. So as I watched the young man dying on the pavement, and his hands was moving back and forth, and it was moving in a real, slow motion. It took me back to when I was shot, and I was trying to push myself up off the ground, but because I had lost all mobility, I couldn't get up. And what happened is I just kept going in and out of consciousness. And out of consciousness until there was absolutely nothing. And the next time I remember coming to. Now, I didn't get shot in the head. I didn't pass out or none of that bullshit. I coded. And I coded another time while I was in the hospital from fluid building up in my lungs. But I don't want to talk about that part, that time. And when I woke up, you know what I remember? The only thing I saw was my mother, my sister, and my brother, and the doctor. I had tubes in my mouth helping me breathe, and tubes all over my body. And the doctor came over, and the doctor said, my mother asked the doctor, is he going to be okay? And you know what the doctor told my mother? Yeah, he'll be okay, but he probably never walk again. I don't know how those two things go together. That's not okay. But I just wanted to give you that picture before I get into what I'm about to say. And as again, I would say the greatest teaching a life experience is experience. And this is not to exclude any other ethnicity or race, but Black America. What have been our experiences here in America since we've been brought over here? What have been your experience? You think about that. And what the experience is telling me, and should be telling you, is that regardless of how much we march, how much we protest, how much we entertain, we are not considered equal in this country by the powers that be. Now, there are some working class white people, and there may be even some corporate white people who don't feel this way. But for the powers that be, the government, the 1%, and some of the foolish working class people and poor white people, etc., who've been brainwashed into thinking that they're better because of the color of their skin, they don't give a fuck about you, me, or anyone else. A white man can pull an AK-47 out, and a gang of cops will show up, and they won't shoot this man to death. They'll talk him down. They'll shoot him with a beanbag gun and do everything in the world to subdue him before they shoot and kill him. Dylan Roof shot up that motherfucking church. They took this motherfucker to Burger King. But you get called for a man that's selling CDs that may have or may have not had an altercation with somebody, and somebody told you he had a gun. Now, they also said that this man didn't comply. It's totally fine. I totally agree, and we need, when officers ask you to do something, and I understand that you have your rights, but we know these officers out here on some bullshit. The best thing to do is comply to let these motherfuckers do whatever they think their job is. But let's not talk about that. They had this man on the ground. Both of his hands were pushed against him. Then somebody yells out gun, and you take your gun out and shoot this man 6 times and kill him. Give a fuck what his record was. He was not causing harm to anybody. Was he resisting arrest? Probably. Yeah, he probably was. And he was a big dude. So were you officers upset because he was resisting arrest and it took you? It was taking too much of your strength to get him down, and you felt inferior. You was worried about him getting up. Was that what it is? Because you were on top of him. So let's do this. And I'm about to get real disrespectful. And I really don't give a fuck. Because we can't continue to do this. So to all my athletes, to all my entertainers, to all my rappers, etc., you millionaires who sit up in corporate America with these white folks. And when I say white folks, I'm not lumping all white folks into one category. So let me get this clear. I'm talking about corporate America and 1%. And you all get this money. And you all out here, calling everybody else who's not doing what you're doing broke. You flashing cars, 6 and 7 cars, houses with 15 to 16 bedrooms. But when shit like this happens, you don't say a motherfucking thing. You know they laughing at you, right? And you know you pissing us off, right? And you wonder why when you come to the hood or some shit, there's people out here willing to rob and kill you. Because you're pointing your finger at us, telling us that we ain't shit. And we the same color you are. And I'm not a big fan of talking about the color of skin. You don't see a yellow lab and a black lab attacking each other because one is black and one is yellow, do you? You don't see other animals who fur may be different than other animals attacking each other because it's the dumbest shit ever. But fuck that. You all don't say a damn thing. You put on a t-shirt saying I can't breathe. You let AltonSterling, like I said before in the past video, you turn your fucking shirts in. Do, if you really want to make a difference, there should not be another NBA game played, another football ran, another baseball hit by a black person until these cops that killed this man go to jail. They reopen other police shootings and people get sentenced for murder. And if that doesn't happen, then we don't play no more. We don't entertain. You don't make another song for your label. Which you make songs about how gangster you are, rappers, and what you do to another nigga, like I said before in other videos. And you gangbangers out there gang banging. You're killing each other over some motherfucking turf that you don't even own. Over some motherfucking colors. Really? Nigga, because I got on a blue shirt, you gonna kill me because you got on a red shirt? See how stupid that shit sounds? It's ignorance. It's been taught to you and put into your head by who? Exactly. So you out here destroying one another. And you say if somebody disrespect you, you would do this and that to them, but you're referring to black people. But white people, not all white people, but white supremacists are disrespecting you every day. And you can sit back and say, this ain't got nothing to do with me. That man was murdered. And other men have been murdered and hanged because they look just like you. So, if you're not willing to do that, fuck your Twitter tweets, fuck your Instagram post, fuck your Facebook post, because all you're doing is talking. And you ain't talking out loud. And you ain't willing to stand up and say that I'm not going to do this and that for a fucking dollar. And if you're not going to do this, then do this. I never thought I would ever say this. Maybe it's time for us to get the fuck out of Dodge. We didn't actually come to this motherfucker anyways. And a lot of them don't like us and don't want us here anyways. So with all the revenue and the money that we got with athletes and entertainers and this and that, how about we go back to Africa? We got Haiti over there. You see Marshawn Lynch them went over there and built houses. Let's take the money that we have and start to build an infrastructure in a different country. And let's just slowly get the fuck out of America. We might not have all this extracurricular bullshit that we don't need because we were much better people before cell phones. Before, computers and all this and that shit. But we'll get back to that. Motherfucking America was built on our backs. Some of the best inventors in the world are black people. Some of the smartest people in the world in America are black people. Brain surgeons and every motherfucking thing else. So it ain't like we ain't got the knowledge or the know-how. And if you really want to, if you in uppity, not even uppity, but motherfucking black folks who think entertained and stuff that think you so well off, let's do this. And let's see what your owners, corporate America and the 1% does. You try to take your money and try to, move it to take it to another country to build up infrastructure so we can get the fuck up out their face and out of their business. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they try to stop you. Because then it show you, motherfucker, these same motherfuckers you sitting up there lollygagging with and hee ha ha. Show you what they really think about you. So I don't have a gang of money. Like I said, I'm nobody. I'm not famous. I don't have a platform that reach millions and millions of people like you all have. I'm far from rich. I get up and go to work every motherfucking day. And yeah, I'm disabled and I have a full-time job. But you all have a platform. You have revenue. You're not going to do, it's apparent that you're not going to do shit for us here because you're afraid. You ain't gonna go out there and pop nothing and shoot nothing. I'm not advocating going out shooting and killing white people. And you black police officers, do it. How about this? Because it sounds to me you seem to be pussy. White police officers pretty much got no problem running around killing black folks. And they ain't going to jail. And I'm not telling you to go out there and shoot white people. But I wonder though, what would happen if a black cop started shooting unarmed white people? You ever thought about that? White America, have you ever thought about that? What would happen? Yeah, I know. So, since y'all ain't gonna do shit about it here, how about helping out your community and your other people? See, let's make it an exodus. Let's get the fuck up out of here. But I do believe that they'll try to stop us. But let them try to stop us. Or if they don't stop us, good. We can go over there and do we can police ourselves. We can make our own laws and we ain't gotta worry about it. And if they decide to come over and try to fuck with us, we're within our own rights to protect ourselves without worrying about repercussions. Maybe it's time for black America to get the fuck up out of America. Because shit ain't changing. At all. So instead of entertaining people and buying cars and houses and all this bullshit and on TV talking about it ain't that bad, how about let's build an infrastructure in a smaller country, Haiti or wherever, and get the fuck up out of here and live how we want to live and do the things that's good for us. We can teach ourselves. We ain't getting taught our history any motherfucking ways. So we're not doing anything that's going to better us in the long run any motherfucking ways here because we're not allowed to. And we so fucking programmed that we'll run around here, shoot each other and sell each other crack and all this other ignorant ass shit. Let's do each other a favor. And if you don't want to do that, you want to continue to run up and down the court and entertain people, make your little money, live in your house and your gated community around white folks while all this shit still goes on, then so be it. So how about the rest of us? Get together, set up some kind of account. Every paycheck, put away some money. To set up an infrastructure somewhere else. It's 13. It's a lot of us here. So even if we just every paycheck took $10, put it into some kind of private account or an account, not even an account, just money. Period. Put it away somewhere. Let it build and slowly go somewhere else and build the infrastructure. And we just get the fuck up out of here. And all the entertainers, the Michael Jordans and Oprah Winfrey, stay y'all ass over here. Don't come fucking with us when we leave either. And shit get to popping where we at. Because most places black people go, we get shit popping. And for you people don't know what get shit popping mean happening. We got it popping in America like a motherfucker, don't we? You stole all our motherfucking music and everything. We get shit popping, whether you want to admit that or not. So everybody, Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smiths, all these corporate people who wanted talking about all capitalism, stay your ass over here. We don't need your help then. We can do this ourselves. So that's my solution. I'm not finna be outside marching up and down because that march ain't never got us no motherfucking way. It ain't got us shit. Martin Luther King, dead. Muhammad Ali, dead. Malcolm X, dead. Just like the move, shit. Just like Neo said, I'm on the run, G. But I'm going to show you how we can make this better. So am I my brother's keeper? So I may not have a big platform or a whole bunch of money to do any of this shit, but I got a plan. I got some ideas. Who fucking with me? Because apparently, it's apparent that the powers to be here in this country don't give a fuck about us. So the question is, do you give a fuck about us? What you gonna do? We gonna continue to go through this bullshit and march up and down the street, chanting all this other bullshit that ain't getting us nowhere, and you gonna continue to work and entertain folks who don't give a fuck about you? But that's cool, because you don't have the balls to do nothing else. But you'll kill and shoot each other like it ain't no thing and talk about what you're gonna do to another motherfucker. But you refer to black people when you're talking about doing this shit to people. On a record or an album. It's bullshit. And that's what pussies do.